Ladies and gentlemen, I could see, wow, I could see you guys. Wow, these are good. What are you wearing? You're not wearing nothing. You watch my videos with nothing. You guys are weird. Yes. I'm getting a headache. Ow. I don't know. Yeah. Crappy stuff you find at a yard sale. Anyways, I got you on my my funky little pole here. Stand there, that new one-legged stand. We're gonna go try that out, see how it works. So I went Sunday. I went to a place called Todd's Farm. Todd's Farm is a like an antique flea market. It's not one of the ones where you go and they sell all the made in China crap. And this is more of a pretty much about 400 or 500 vendors full of just antique stuff. And I was trying to walk around to see what if I could find something better for the table on the bus. And we're around with a tape measure. The table that I got, I kind of like it, but it's about 2 inches too tall, and I would have to cut that, not from Mike again, porcelain down so that I can get it to fit under the windows and work correctly. So I started thinking of like other stuff I can come up with. And so I ran around my tape measure, seeing if I can come up with like like an old chessboard or like a game or an ironing board or a sign or something that just kind of looked cool. And I found some stuff. One was a chessboard that looked really cool. It was rectangular, but it was just too much money. It was like $100 or so. I'm not going to pay that for a table. I'm too cheap. But while I was there, I'll get back to that in a second. While I'm in the garage, I'll do my garage part of this. On the way home, the truck started growling a little bit. And it was growling because my pads are no good. Here, should I go on metal to metal? So I went to breakfast this morning in the bus and stopped at my local parts store and got me a set of pads. They just started touching, so it's not bad. They were starting to scrape. You can kind of see a little bit on the bottom of the rotor. But I already cut these rotors once, and if you guys know brakes now, they don't make them very thick. They're fairly close to the minimum thickness as it is. And I'm afraid if I cut them again, that I'll end up having them overheat and start pulsing. So, and the cut's still pretty good on them if you look at them. They're not bad. So other than that little scoring on the bottom, we're just gonna go slap some pads on there, and 20 bucks later, 25 bucks later, we're good to go. And I can put my truck back down on the ground and finish up this tractor and drop this tractor off, get it out of my garage too. So I went and I tried finding stuff for the bus, again trying to find out what I can come up with for a table. And I got some kind of ideas, and I'm still kind of trying to work it over in my mind what I want. And I came up with an idea. Whether it's gonna come through, I'm not sure. But while I was there, I was trying to look for more of those wristbands. Come over here with it. The women's wristbands I was using for the windows. I had like 3 at yard sales. I grabbed for $1 or $2. And so there was a guy there, a vendor that was there that had all kinds of costume jewelry. See if you're panned out all the way. No, you're not. Had all kinds of costume jewelry, and so I started looking through those bins, and I found a decent amount. The bin next to it had some other things that were in there too, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll go with that. So they were like $1 or $2 a piece. They had women's watches that the same thing. They look like the letter C. And they just basically, you can clip them right on the curtains, you can pop them off. And actually, if I want to, I could rotate them around and have them face the other direction. So that's kind of what we went with. They got 1, 2. Got 2 that are similar on the back. On this side, those 2 windows stay shut all the time because the cabinet's there. And and then you got 2 more on these windows. So, of course, you know, you change your mind when you find something. I still have that one table that I can go use. It's sitting in the back. And I'm still going to use that leg, I think, for the leg of the table. Again, the bed's out, so this backs up a good. You can see the difference. You can see where it kind of drops in right there. That's where it pulls in. That's the armrest right there, and that's where the table would normally sit. So that when it's a couch, you can have a table to sit at. That one that I have comes up into the curtain line, so you would have to try to figure out some way to attach it so that it's attached, you know, to the body a little bit lower. And I didn't like the way it looked in the up position because it was clipping the curtain. So I started looking at stuff, and I figured maybe I could use the original table and do that. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Decoupage. It's where you take it and you glue like pictures down. People like glue pictures down in scrapbook, and they put that glue over it, and then they put like that clear liquid over it, and it kind of seals it all into the table. So I was thinking about going along that line, using the original table, but then going with like a concert poster from the era of the band. It's gonna stay open. Stay. Stay. And you parked on a hill. Fine, I'll use my knee. Anyway, so what I was thinking of doing, I wanted something when you opened up the door and the table was down, you would see the artwork of what the table was. And I started looking at first I was looking at Woodstock posters from August '69, because it's kind of the same era of the band, VW Bus, hippies, you know, that deal. And I liked them, but I just didn't quite like the color. And the table is 20 by 28 is the dimensions of it, and most of the concert posters are 24 by 36, so you had to look at the artwork where you're going to lose it on the corners. And I probably looked on eBay for a good 2 hours at different posters, different things, trying to find something cool. Then I kind of switched over to the Doors and the album Morrison Hotel. They had, if you guys are familiar with it, the older guys are, the younger guys aren't gonna have a clue what I'm talking about. But on Morrison Hotel, the band pulled up in front of the place and ran out because it was Jim Morrison's name, and they all jumped in the window and they quickly took a picture, and that ended up becoming the album cover. Well, they make that in a poster too, and the poster is 22 by 35. And on each end of it, the only thing I would lose is just a little bit of the curtains of the window of the place. So, and a little bit of history behind that. When they did that, they pulled up in a VW bus, and they hopped out of the VW bus and they ran in and they took the picture. So, myself liking the Doors, kind of growing up with that, think that that might be the way I go. And I made an offer. They had a buy it now at $50 for a ratty one, and I offered 25. I thought that was kind of expensive for one that was damaged. And I looked at the ones that were sold that were selling for 25. So they declined it, but we're still going to keep looking. And I'm not that much of a hurry. I would like to do it, but we'll wait and see. It may even change from there. I may find something out that's even cooler. But as of right now, that's what I think I'm going to go with. And while I was there, I was going around and I found this puppy. That is a steering wheel, I believe out of an older MGT, something like that. Here's what the name of it is for those who care. But a friend of mine, John, has another split window bus steering wheel that the Bakelite's all busting up. This one is too. I tried removing this wheel, I couldn't do it. It was getting damaged, so I just kind of left it alone. So in here is steel. I'll bust off and cut out the center of the hub, and then I'll make that hub fit on here. I'll machine it down and then probably just TIG weld it to this, and then try to come up with some kind of funky horn ring. But so that, I believe, is what I'm going to go try to use. The suicide knob's in the way, but it's just about a ½ inch smaller, and we'll pop that on there, and it'll have a cool look of a banjo steering wheel. Because any of the guys that know, the real ones are stupid money. And I hate spending stupid money. So, wife came home this morning and goes, I got bad news. I said, would you get in an accident? Says no. Well, I was partly right. She caught a big old rock. Took out the windshield. The glare's kind of getting you. But Hopefully you can see that. Right below the wiper there, and almost blew a hole right through it. She said she had her glasses on there and almost blew the glasses on the inside right into her. So that needs a windshield, and I need a windshield in my truck. So we're going to try to get someone to come to the house and see if we get a little bit better deal, having to only show up one place for 2 windows. And that table didn't go to waste. Still, there's the rest of it. It got cut down and put a tablecloth on it. That's the same kind of porcelain finish that's on there. And that we leave that stuff out there year round. During the summertime, there's an awning that gets pulled out across the deck. And the wintertime, the awning gets put away, and we'll take that tablecloth off of there, and it'll hold up to the weather. Of course, the cushions go away. But that stays out there year round, and that one should hold up much better. So that table still didn't go to waste. Oh, and the pop the voltage regulator out of the bug, put it in the bus. Charging system's all set on the bus, and that issue has gone away. And that free planer was, again, the switch was no good. And actually the guy said it to me. He said it might be the switch, it might be the motor. I popped the switch out of it. Actually, what it is, I just took the switch right out of it, and I stuck a pair of needle nose pliers in it. I turned the switch on, and it powered right up. And I said, all right, and took the switch apart, and it just had some wood chips in the switch that was making the contact so they wouldn't hit. So I figured out how all the pieces go, and put the side on it, put the fence on it, and basically what it has is up here, depending on how wide the wood is how much of a cut you could take each time. And then when you stick the board in, it's got a little scale on it right there. Kind of tells you how much you're taking off each time. And it's got a crank on the side of it. You crank that up, and it raises and lowers the table. The knives stay the same height, and the table just moves. So here's a piece of wood I just was playing with to try and go and do it. Yeah, I know, safety Nazis. I don't have my safety gear on, etc. But you can kind of see, it'll tell you when you stick the board in how much you're taking off each time. So let's see if we can do this without shaking the camera too much. It's got the planer cleaning up the side. And that just runs down the edge of the other side of it. So I'm going to go take that probably apart and just kind of clean up all the stuff. I know some of the wheels and the table and stuff, the threads are kind of cruddy. I think it was sitting for quite a while in a shed or a garage. But it doesn't work pretty good. I did notice that power feed thing was jamming up a little bit, but we'll look into that. The first time I ran it, actually ran really smooth. So, but again, for the price, it was free. And they were pretty expensive new. They're up over $1,000, and they're selling between $400 and $450 now. And all the reviews on it say the people say they really like it. So whether I keep it or not, I'm not quite sure. I don't do all that much stuff with wood, but you never know. And again, if you got it for nothing, it may be worth keeping. So we'll see how that ends up, but I'm still kind of happy with it for nothing. And take it off the dolly and stuff it away someplace, or I'll pop it on Craigslist and see if it sells. If it doesn't sell, then I'll keep it. Like, I'll have a choice, right? But again, all right, guys. Thanks for watching, subscribing, commenting. You know the routine by now. Again, thanks. Bye, guys.